Earlier this month, on the first day of the new school year in the Sweetwater Union High School District, a student brandished a firearm during a virtual class session. The police were called and officers arrived at the student's residence to find that the weapon was a BB gun and no one was harmed. Later in the week, the district, which was the first in the county to start the fall semester, received reports of students sharing pornographic images during online classes. These disruptive behaviors add yet another layer to the challenges facing teachers and administrators as they restart school in the COVID era.
In the last couple of weeks, as we've seen some incidents happen.
Manny Rubio is the spokesman for the Sweetwater Union High School District. He said the expectations for student behavior are the same as they were before the pandemic.
If you were in a classroom, it's respecting your classmates, your fellow classmates, respecting the teacher that's in front of you giving the lesson, asking questions that are thoughtful and very, that are appropriate for the class.
But educators across the county know that while rules for behavior have stayed the same, the classroom experience is completely different.
This is a new environment for students. The rules are not established.
Jamie Dayhoff is the Director of Attendance and Discipline at Poway Unified. He said the new setting will likely lead to unpredictable student behaviors.
We make some assumptions that kids know that, when you're in your bedroom or you're at the dining room table doing this stuff, that the same, you're held to the same levels of conduct that you would be if you're sitting in a classroom. And I don't think we can make those assumptions.
The state education code requires suspensions and even expulsions for certain offenses. And Dayhoff and other school officials made it clear that students will still be punished for disrupting online classes. But they also acknowledged they'll have to take extra steps to make sure the punishments don't further exacerbate the problems schools have connecting with students while classes are online. Rubio said Sweetwater is having counselors reach out to students and parents to better understand negative behaviors.
And so what we want to understand is this, just a case of, a kid trying to make a disruption just for the sake of it, just for the sake of doing it, or is there something behind that? And so we really want to get to the root cause of what's going on.
School officials are also quick to say that they are still working to emphasize restorative justice and other alternatives to punitive discipline, in part to eliminate the disproportionate impact on students of color, students with disabilities, and low-income students. But advocates worry that when physical campuses reopen, teachers and administrators will revert to overly punitive practices in the potentially dangerous learning environment created by the pandemic.
I do see racial and disability and income disparities magnified when we do open up schools.
Daniel Lowson is the director of the Center for Civil Rights Remedies at UCLA. He's concerned, for example, that a shoving match between students or a confrontation with a teacher where a student violates social distancing could lead to harsher penalties due to the public health risks involved with physical contact.
One response might be that schools, teachers and administrators will call police more often than before because now every small incident could have a danger component to it that didn't exist before.
Dayhoff said planning and communication will be key to avoiding such scenarios.
Don't make assumptions that your kid knows what's going on and what they need to do if they're going to be working independently. The more information they can get around that, the less likely they're going to be doing something that'll get themselves in trouble.
Joe Hong, KPBS News.